na, Boss Arlo. You have to stop it.
Rodrigo Duterte is the man of the hour, being the top darling of the social media scene. His rise to popularity outside his turf can only be compared to that of a rocket with 5 large boosters headed straight towards the moon at the speed of sound. But before that, he was already infamous, being the Dirty Harry of Davao City due to his actions. He has spearheaded the war against drugs in Davao City, ridding the city of goons with guns, drugs, and criminality, re-established order, keeping his officials and cohorts in the government corrupt-free, and making the city into an international model that it is today, ranking as one of the safest cities in the world. Believe that, not him. Definitely not him. He has served as Davao's father figure for over 2 decades now, and his family has ruled over the land with a mix of humility, discipline, and iron fist. I'm Jacob Bisaya, and welcome to the first edition of PinoyCulture, wherein we list down the top 10 reasons why Duterte is loved by his people. Number 10, he is pushing for change. Literally. So the Philippines is composed of 7,107 islands, and the accuracy of that number is determined by the mood of the tide. It is divided into 3 parts: Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao. The whole country is composed of 18 regions, whereas one of them is autonomous. Although each region has its own government body that manages it, the real power is still heavily centralized on the capital, meaning that the development of a province heavily depends on the decision of those at the capital. According to Duterte, this power centralization is a hamper to provincial development, and his great idea to solve this problem is federalism. If you don't know what that is, then go ask Google or your mom. Through this, regions will now become states, and the state governments will have its own development powers, budget, and laws that will focus solely on that particular state. Also, this power distribution will also help out with the peace and order problems of Mindanao after the epic fail of the BPL. Before he decided to even run for the president, he had already went around the country to promote federalism, and most people do agree with him. Will it work? That remains to be seen. What Duterte did was, he actually gave real hope and not just false promises to the people. That's nice. Go Duterte.
Number 9, his friendly demeanor. Despite the fact that the guy being prominent and having the face that looks like he can kill you if you so much look at his general direction in a wrong way, Duterte is widely known to be more approachable than most politicians these days. Back during his younger days, the proud mayor of Davao roamed the city on his bike looking like one of the main cast of Sons of Anarchy, casually interacting with the public without the guards surrounding him. This then gave the impression that he is not that cold-blooded, and after all, the people eventually did warm up to him, and the rest is history. Not many politicians do this lately because of the fear of being assassinated or just be ganged up for the right and wrong reasons. Number 8, his bad mouth. F-bombs! F-bombs everywhere. Now, cursing is something you and I do every day because maybe something didn't go your way or someone got into your business and you want to show them how grateful you are. Usually, we do this in private with friends or when we're drunk or high on something. And as a social taboo, our teachers and parents tells us not to do that in public. Enter Mayor Duterte. Despite being a TV personality and a public servant, Mayor Duterte does not refrain from dropping the F-bomb or the casual PI slurs when he is in the mood to do so. He even does this on live TV. Now cry all you want about him being a bad guy because he says bad words, and you know that's bad, but most of the people admire him for being very vocal. And people see him as this no-nonsense leader, and he is not afraid to tarnish his good boy image even if that means doing his job properly. Also, through his cursing, the people feel that the mayor represents their emotions towards the awful things on the situation at hand. Just forget about him cursing about the Pope. That was unintended, and we'll talk about it in the future videos. Spoiler alert. Number 7, his simple life. During election seasons, many politicians claim that once upon a time they were as poor as rats, living in slums, eating whatever they could find, and many more of that BS campaigning stunts in order to gain sympathy. Now, if you've lived during the time before the internet was born, you would believe them because, hey, this is a good story. Now skip towards the present and you would say that, hey, this is complete and utter garbage. Well, not all of them are just PR stunts. Some known politicians did come from poor families and are still living a simple life, like the late Jesse Robredo and Manny Pacquiao. Well, not really, but you get the point. Among those rare jewels is Rodrigo Duterte. It is also quite known that his house in Davao is not that grandiose as others, and he doesn't own any fancy cars that we know of, though most internet trolls these days claim that he does have a mansion somewhere in Makati or Batangas, yet failing to show any proof about it. Keep trying, dumbasses. The way people see it, this simple lifestyle just shows that he is not corrupt unlike someone we know today. Number 6, he is respected by everyone, including the rebels. Like most countries around the world, the Philippines also deals with its own insurgency problems. The likes of the NPA, the MNLF, the MILF, no, not a porn term, and their deranged and violent cousins, the BIFF, has plagued almost every corner of the country, causing chaos and mayhem and whatever rebels do in a day. Past administrations has already done everything they can to deal with these radicals, from Estrada's all-out war campaign to Arroyo's peace talks campaign to the Aquino's recently deceased BBL proposal. Didn't that end well? Is there anyone that can talk sense with these guys? Asked the public. According to many, the answer is this guy. Oh no, wait, hang on. This guy. Sorry. Like the previous facts, it is also known that Duterte and the NPA had held a good and firm peace treaty in Davao del Sur, and the deceased regional commander of that group, Commander Parago, was a friend of Mayor Duterte. Nur Miswari and several MILF representatives are also known to be pro-Duterte because according to them, he is a brother, and also because they all came from Mindanao. Many believe that only Duterte can get to the hearts and minds of these rebels, and with that, Mindanao would finally see peace and order. Number 5, he is a leftist. Rodrigo Duterte is not a kiss-ass. He kisses ladies, and though he did say that he is loyal to this guy, he will not kiss his ass, and he is against the current administration's way of running the country. He is always left, and by that he means he is against anything the government does that is not good for the people. Looking at the major fails of the Aquino regime, some of the populace felt the injustice, and they all flocked towards Mayor Duterte to support him. Number 4, his track record, 22 years. That's how long Digong has served the people of Davao as their elected leader. After the People Power Revolution, Duterte was assigned by Cory Aquino, yep, this guy's mother, as officer in charge vice mayor of Davao City. In 1988, he ran for mayor and won, serving until 1998. Due to the rules of law, he was not able to run for another term but opted to run for the House of Representatives, eventually winning as a congressman of the 1st District of Davao City. In 2001, he ran again as mayor and won. It's also a known fact that Digong won the elections via landslide victory with less campaign expenses than most politicians during that time. He was re-elected again and again and again, at one time swapping places with his daughter as vice mayor. He has also won multiple leadership awards and is recognized by many international bodies as one of the most effective leaders of the decade. Beat that. I dare you. Number 3, the shoot first, ask questions later mentality. Due process, it's a system wherein we follow the certain rules written in the Constitution before we engage or convict people for the crimes they have done. This is good and all. Unfortunately, it also means that a criminal case will go through a lot of processing before someone is called a criminal, and that takes a lot of time. He somewhat sees that differently. Duterte prefers to act before talking. This is implied by his order to the police to shoot drug pushers and kill them if they fight back, and those that survive are taken to court or jail. Now that's better, says the public, who is tired of seeing high-profile criminals in TV roaming around with their sentences delayed by that much. I get it. Justice must be swift, but the people had had enough of the slow-moving due process, and many think Duterte's plan of death penalty will finally solve the problem. Number 2, he is a disciplinarian. To those who don't know Duterte, I will warn you now, do not mess with this guy. He will literally grab your balls and rip them off. Duterte's zero-tolerance policy against drugs and criminality can be seen in Davao City. Just look at the place. You can walk at 12 midnight on the streets and your virginity will still be intact, unlike some places I know in Manila. He keeps his officers at line, the police on their toes, and the drug pushers on the run. Other than that, he is also strictly implementing the rules governing the land, like the smoking ban, the firecracker ban, the speed limit, and the 1 a.m. curfew in Davao City. It was once said that a man did not follow the smoking ban rule in public, and that Mayor Duterte had a man eat a cigarette whole in public with no remorse. Yikes. Whether this was true or not, it does not matter, because the bottom line is, he will make you follow the rules or else. And number 1, his active war on drugs, crime, and corruption. Every country in the world has this problem, and so does the Philippines, because why not? Recent studies show that the Philippines is included on the top 100 of the most corrupt governments in the world, despite a piss-poor cleanup campaign pushed by the Tuwid na Daan administration. Drugs is rampant as well, and that is followed by criminality. Now, Duterte is not Batman, though the internet seems to portray him so, but no, he's just a man with a lot of guns. Duterte has been at the front lines in the war against drugs and criminality for all of his political life. With his recent decision to run for president, he has added corruption to that bucket list, and the people see him as their savior that will finally bring the country to a prosperous future. Though he has warned everyone that if he becomes a president, it will be bloody, but the people are still at arms with him because they truly believe that he is the right man of action for the job and that he will finally end the traditional cycle of the politics in the Philippines. And that's our list. Did we miss anything out? Please leave a comment and like, and thank you for viewing our debut video. I'm Jacob Bisaya, and this is Pinoy Culture signing out.